Hi, everyone. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you hear me? I'm just opening the chat right now. Yes. Hi, Amanda. How are you? It's a little bit early. I started all of 3 minutes early. I'm trying to see if I can pronounce everyone's name. Hi, Anira. Hi, Barbara, Cynthia, CJ, Nikki, Nora. Thanks for joining us. I'm waiting for our guest to log in. She should be logging in shortly. While she's doing that, I'm going to try to start our share. Well, I should wait a little bit before I do that. How's everyone's night? And where are you logging in from? I think the farthest we've gotten has been Manitoulin before. Okay, CJ, you're from Orangeville. CJ, you're a regular. I like this. Amanda, you are a regular as well. I don't ever want to lose you, Amanda. I see that our guest has logged on. Hi, Charmaine. Manitoulin's back. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Sandra. Wait, you're muted.
Hi.
Perfect.
I just realized I was muted, so hello.
So I am just going to start the share on Facebook. I was getting everyone to say where they're from. I see Orangeville and Manitoulin, and yeah,
Nice.
this is exciting. I must apologize in advance to everyone. I thought I was past this semi-getting sick stage, but I'm telling you now, it's back. My throat has been killing me all evening, so I'll be sipping on tea as we go along. So, yes.
Chase it away. You need some rum and lime.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to go no. Yes.
Yes. After the call, of course, and
Yes.
you pick up. Yeah.
Keeping it together for now.
Yes.
Because nobody wants to be sick during the holiday season, so
No.
I need to fight it off. So I'm just working on sharing the chat on Facebook right now. Somehow 2 windows loaded. Why? I don't know what I just did. But Sandra, I don't know if you have any questions you want to ask anyone who's on, or
let's see. Anybody want to share successes they had for 2018? We might as well start with that. Start on a positive note. Anyone?
well, a success is just making it too close to the end of 2018, not going like insane over all the stresses that come with just day to day. Oops, I didn't intend to do what I just did. I don't want to do that. Everyone, I just pressed the wrong button and
Oh, nice.
Broadcast.
Somebody delivered their first workshop and somebody got 150 odd members. Cool.
Oh. Wow.
I launched my podcast. I guess that was the highlight of my year.
Yeah. That was
I've been talking about it for so long.
That's really good. And if anyone of you haven't gotten a chance to listen to any of her podcasts, some pretty amazing stories.
Yeah. I've been amazed at the women who I don't think I've met. I think maybe one woman I had met previously, but everybody else were just people that I connected with on Facebook, and it's been pretty impressive.
Wow.
Because I've heard some stories where I don't know how they survived what they went through, but they did. So
that should keep everyone intrigued as to you have to where can you tell them where they can
find the podcast?
Yeah.
You can It's called Embrace Your Destiny, and you can find it on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, most of the major podcast outlets. And I think I'm 19 episodes in so far.
Wow.
With fingers crossed, 2 more episodes to come before the end of the year.
That is really exciting.
Yeah. And I'm just excited that I have content to take me till the end of February. That's how many interviews I was able to do. So I'm super excited.
That is good. I have to tell everyone too that I'm actually scheduling webinars into March of next year. So this will be the last webinar of 2018. If only I can get this thing to stop spinning and start the Facebook Live, that would be great.
Oh.
But you know what? That's okay. Manitoulin Entrepreneur Network, 150 cents. I have a really not so smart, very less than smart question to ask Barbara. I know you've heard me say I've always wanted to go to Manitoulin Island. What is the population of Manitoulin Island? I'm very interested to know how many people live there. A friend of mine, her parents live there, and I've always thought it was, just sparse. But, and also a coworker of mine, a few of their family members live there. And I've always wanted to go. So, Barbara, if you know how many people, it's not going to stream. What? 10,000 year round?
Wow.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I just got a notification that it's unable to stream on Facebook. So we are going to proceed.
Okay.
So I will officially say goodnight to everyone. And I'm Dwaynia Peel, and I'm the founder of Canadian Small Businesswomen. And I love doing webinars like these because it gives us, that 1 hour time slot to learn something and to do something for our business on Wednesdays. Well, a couple of Wednesdays a month, but it's a lot of information in a small amount of time that you can apply to your business instead of sitting and trying to go through a book for hours. But we won't talk about that because I'll interject about a book later on. And I do have a couple of surprises to drop in there later on. Yeah, and it's way more fun to talk, Sue. You're right. And I love talking. I think, Sue, you remember from the last webinar that I do enjoy talking more than, television, then talking, let's be honest. So enough of me, because I'm ready to try to get my goal setting together. I have my fancy pen, because I'm all sparkly today, and my paper.
I got these pens on the weekend at an open house for a salon. Check these out.
Oh, I like those.
Aren't they pretty?
Ooh. Ooh, Sue has a new journal. Let's put it all to use, ladies.
Yes.
So I would like to hand over the floor to Sandra, and I will share my screen so that you don't have to see this lovely face. You can see Sandra's lovely face, and you can see her presentation at the same time. Take it away, Sandra.
All right. Well, hello, ladies. Good evening. And for those of you who I haven't met before, my name is Sandra Dawes. I'm the founder of Embrace Your Destiny, and I'm a certified life coach. And I like to introduce myself as a recovering control freak and excuse maker. And I work with my clients to help them overcome similar challenges. And so it's really all about getting clear on your goals, establishing priorities, setting boundaries, and really just focusing on doing what you want and creating the life that you really want for yourself. And today we're going to talk about the 5 keys to making 2019 your best year yet. And that last slide, you're going to see a lot of quotes because I am a bit of a quote junkie. You probably won't hear any interruptions from Lulu because I've closed the door so she can't sneak in to take in the presentation tonight. And so as far as what do I know about creating my best year, like I said before we officially got started, I launched my podcast this year. I have I'm still in the process of learning how to let go of the need to multitask, because I don't know how many of you ladies out there are guilty of having the 10 tabs open on your browser and and trying to get, too many things done at the same time, and you're making mistakes or not getting everything done in the way that you wanted to. And so I realized that laser focus really is the way to go. So that's my mantra for 2019: laser focus, trying not to get that shiny object syndrome, not get distracted by all the really cool things that seem to be out there, the webinars on how to make 6 figures in 6 days or whatever they're trying to pitch these days, but really just focusing on the goal at hand and doing what I need to do, but also keeping an open mind and being open to the options that are out there. And this year I found a tool that has really helped me to get that laser focus, because it actually helped me to check in with myself on a daily basis as far as what I wanted to do, what I actually got done. And if I didn't get those things done, it actually forced me to get really honest about why I wasn't getting those things done. And it was interesting to see how there were times where for weeks on end, it was the same reason why I wasn't getting things done. And so I think when you are writing it out every day and it's like, oh, isn't that what I wrote yesterday and the day before and the day before that, that it really helps you to give your head a shake and figure out what you need to do to break those patterns. And I'm super excited about the fact that I already have my 2019 plan in place, and I can't wait to start the new year off and get that ball rolling. And so I'll talk more about the tool that I mentioned, but we're gonna just jump right into it and get into the 5 keys.
All right.
So we're in the final stretch, the last 2 weeks, barely, of 2018. And so now is the time to start your plan for the new year. And I hinted at, start to really look at what worked in 2018 and what didn't work. And when you can look at that, then you don't end up repeating the same mistakes next year. Because I think that I've done it myself, where I'm guilty of, having challenges with certain things, but just figuring that I'm going to make it work the next time without doing anything differently. So it's just really about learning those lessons and moving forward in a different direction that's actually going to get you where you want to go. And the question that you really need to ask yourself is, what do you need to make happen in 2019 to make it your best year yet? And once you have that vision of what you really want to achieve, so what do you want to be celebrating at this time next year, then you can start to think about the steps you need to take to get you there. So the 5 keys that we're going to talk about today are getting clarity on your goals, silencing the peanut gallery, faith in yourself and in a higher power, the plan to make your goals a reality, a willingness to put your plan into action, and the bonus that we're going to talk about is tracking your progress consistently, which is what I hinted at just at the start. So I warned you that there were going to be lots of quotes. And so the first one's from Gretchen Rubin. And often if there's something I want to do, but somehow can't get myself to do, but somehow can't get myself to do, it's because I don't have clarity. This lack of clarity often arises from a feeling of ambivalence. I want to do something, but I don't want to do it. Or I want one thing, but I also want something else that conflicts with it. And I don't know if anybody else can relate to this quote, but I've been there, done that, and probably wear the t-shirt. So it's really about figuring out what you really want to do. And there are so many different tools to help you get that clarity, whether it's doing a vision board, really thinking about the legacy that you want to create for yourself. If you've read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey talks about writing your obituary, which, sounds a bit morbid, but when you think about how you want to be remembered and you realize that, anything can happen at any time, if you're not doing the things that are going to create that legacy on a consistent basis, then it's time to start, because you want to create that legacy. You want to be remembered for certain things, whether that's your charitable work, whether it's, being, I don't know, really prosperous, being famous in some way, shape, or form, but whatever that legacy is, now's the time to start working on that. It's not about waiting until the stars align in a certain way or that the perfect moment presents itself for you to start creating that legacy. I think that we have to start to create that legacy right now and realize that these things take time and there are baby steps that we can take to creating the life that we really want. But the first step is really getting clear on what that looks like. And so whether it's, who here has done a vision board before? And probably some of you here have done one with me.
I had a lot of tries, but they're actually right behind me. If I try to pan the camera, I don't think anyone can see me, but you see those two things up there? That's
Yes.
Vision boards, but they're like in frames.
Yeah, and I think that having a vision board is great. And so if you have an office, or I know that I've had them in my bedroom so that I actually see it first thing when I wake up. But I think that it's a great visual reminder of the things that you're working towards, or that catchphrase that we hear so much, your why, right? Because I think that your vision board is supposed to be a visual depiction of why it is that you're working, why it is you're working so hard, why it is that you're doing the things you need to do to create the life that you want to live. And that's why I love vision boards so much, is because I think that they're fun to do. Number one, it's not, you know, a tedious task. It can be a really fun thing to do. And especially if you're a visual person, it's a great tool to help you really get focused in a different way on what it is you want to create for your life. And has anybody who has a bucket list? I haven't done a bucket list in such a long time. I need to go back and.
No, I feel weird calling them bucket lists. I know Sue said here she paints her vision board every year. That's kind of
I like
cool.
that.
Bucket list.
Creative.
I have a wish list.
The first time I worked with a coach back in 2009, the challenge was to write 101 things I wanted to do before I died. And I was like, that is 101 things. Who's supposed to come up with that list? And it took me the weekend to do it, but it was a really cool exercise because at first I didn't think that there were that many things that I wanted to achieve. But I started thinking about, you know, musicians that I want to see live, places in the world that I want to visit, different things like that. And then you start to get excited, because I think that when I first started to do it, I was really limiting myself as to what I thought was possible for me in that present moment. And so, well, when am I going to be able to go to South Africa? When am I going to be able to do those things? And so once I stopped thinking about the how and just figured out what I really wanted to do, it became so much easier to do that list. But I mean, whether it's the vision board, the bucket list, writing your legacy or your obituary, all of those things really help you to get clear on your goals. And so once you get that clarity, then you can start to work on those things. Like take one thing every 6 months or for the year that you're going to work towards, so that you can cross those things off your list or celebrate those successes.
It's funny that you have I'm still not calling it a bucket list, the list. Because I find for some people, whether it be business or non-business related, the hardest question for them to answer is, what do you want out of life? Or, you know, just what do you want, period. People don't know what they want.
Right. And I think that if you're struggling with that, then it's so easy to get pulled in 100 different directions and be saying yes to opportunities that sound really cool, but aren't going to really get you closer to anything that's really serving you. And so that's why I think that clarity is the first step. Because for me, I feel like this whole goal setting process is a lot like a road trip. And so you don't jump in your car and say you're hitting the road to go somewhere and not be quite sure where it is you're going, or just say, well, I'm going to go to the States and not be clear on exactly where in the States you want to go. You want to be very clear on where that final destination is. And I think that it's the same with our goals. And if you don't have that clarity, then yeah, you might go on a very scenic tour and you might stop in a whole bunch of cool places, but that might not be where you really wanted to be in the first place.
Sorry, I need to get to the next slide and I lost my mouse. Okay, there we go.
And an Arianna Huffington quote for you: the more we refuse to buy into our inner critics, our external ones too, the easier it will get to have confidence in our choices and to feel comfortable with who we are as women and as mothers. And I think that for me, this is why the peanut gallery has been such a huge thing. And for those of you who may not be familiar, the peanut gallery, for me anyway, are the sources of negativity in your life. So whether that's well-meaning friends and family who want to talk about all the reasons why your dreams are a bit crazy or impossible, or meet the media who talks about, you know, the state of the economy and how everything's going to hell in a handbasket. So now is not the right time to start your business or invest in your business or something like that. And I think the number one offender is that little voice inside your head that's constantly questioning your abilities or the things you want to do, and you know, starts talking about that fear of failure or things like that. And so if you see the slide right now, that picture is the Muppets peanut gallery, which I think is what I always envision when I talk about the peanut gallery, because those two were some grumpy old men, were they not? And I'm probably showing my age when I talk about
think
the
of
Muppets.
Peanuts actually in the theater, like in a seat.
Right, with their little commentary.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, the bad thing about this peanut gallery, again, whether it's people or that voice in your head or the media or social media, because God knows that, you know, with social media, you get random people that you've never met before that have comments about things that you want to do or that you're doing. And so I think that you have to really be able to block those things out, because they can make you question your dreams. They make you question whether or not you can achieve the success you want to. Maybe it makes you question whether or not you're too old to get started on something that you're really excited about, or different things like that. And so you really have to find a way to silence that peanut gallery. For me, it's limiting my exposure to the news, because I don't want to watch the 11 o'clock news before I go to bed, because it's never happy news. You know, it's about, you know, all the horrible things that have happened in the world. And yeah, I mean, while I want to not, you know, stick my head in the sand and be completely unaware of what's going on, I don't want it to consume me. So I think that it's about finding that balance. And I think it's the same thing with social media. And I think that even when it comes to your friends and family, it's about really sharing your dreams and your hopes with people, with the right people. Not everybody needs to know what you're working towards. Not everybody is going to be supportive. And so you have to really be protective, especially of the big things you want to achieve in your life, because you want people who, yes, will be realistic about those things and make you question what you're doing in a helpful way, but not the dream crushers. And I think that we all know people like that who you probably don't share your stuff with anymore, because you realize that they just have nothing good to say, nothing encouraging to say. They're just really negative. And again, I don't think that it means that they don't love you or they don't want good things for you. But I think that a lot of times our commentary on things is based on our own reality and our own perceptions of what's possible. And so I think that you just have to understand when you hear those things that they're coming from their own perceived limitations, and it's really not a reflection of you.
I see Sue wrote a quote here, which I think is fantastic. I took a photo of it. When you know your purpose, things either fit or they do not fit. So you get what you want faster.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one of my favorite quotes, especially when it comes to the peanut gallery anyway, is from Wayne Dyer, when he talks about the fact that other people's opinions of you are none of your business.
Yes.
Because that used to be such a big thing for me, worrying about what other people thought about me or what I was doing. And you realize that you have no control over that. So you start to just realize that you're just wasting time and energy in worrying about what other people think, because there's nothing that you can do that's going to change their opinion. That's something that they're going to be able to do or not do for themselves. So you just have to focus on you and the things you want to do.
Well, it's funny because the question I normally ask, because I normally say that I don't care about the opinions of others when it comes to me, like their opinion on me personally, because they don't know me. So
Right.
how can they have an opinion on me? Right? So the
Right.
opinions that matter should be the people who really know you.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, you know yourself better than most. So your opinion is all that matters to you.
Absolutely. Oh, can you go back for a second?
Oops, sorry.
So just some tips on how we can silence them. It's about really supporting yourself with positive, supportive people. There are mastermind groups, there are women's circles, there are events like Canadian Small Business Women events,
Yay.
where you get to, get informed and be around women who are all trying to support each other in some way, shape, or form. And that's the kind of environment that you want, especially as an entrepreneur. You want people who get it. They may not get your business specifically, but they get the entrepreneurial journey and the struggles that can be a part of that journey. Because I know that when you're talking to your friends who have the full-time job and the paid vacations and all that other stuff, when you're talking about some of those struggles, sometimes they're like, I don't know why you bother. And so it's really about, surrounding yourself with people who get it so that they can support and encourage you in a positive way. And if you've heard, I've actually done a whole talk on silencing the peanut gallery. And so I talk a lot about affirmations, because for me, that was a huge part of me silencing my own personal peanut gallery and really getting out of a negative headspace. And so if you're not familiar with affirmations, they're positive statements about yourself or your environment, and they can really just help you when you're having those negative moments, when you're having those challenges and obstacles, when you're working on your goals, because I feel like they're that negativity first aid kit that you sort of remind yourself of the good things in your life or the things that you're working towards, and really claiming those positive things for yourself instead of focusing on the things that just aren't working for ourselves. And yeah, absolutely. Believing in yourself and having confidence in yourself is a huge part of it, because when you're confident in yourself, and I think that's very much where Sue's quote was hinting at too, is that when you're confident in yourself and in your goals, then the negative things that people are saying, or they're poo-pooing on your dreams or whatever, they don't matter, because you're so focused and you believe in yourself and in what you're working on so much that none of that stuff really affects you.
Yeah. Oh, Sue thinks everyone would benefit from affirmations. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between a truth and a lie.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why I think affirmations are so great. And I used to joke, because when I was doing affirmations at first, I had sticky notes all over the place. And when I first did it, my partner used to laugh at me, and he'd read them out and kind of tee-hee when he was reading them. And then, but he's an entrepreneur as well. And so sometimes when we'd be talking about the challenges and stuff, he'd actually repeat some of the affirmations that were on those sticky notes. And so I often joke that I should have started to write affirmations about the joys of doing laundry and washing the dishes to see if that would seep into his subconscious as well. I still have to try that out. I'll report back and let you guys know.
Yeah.
And another quote for you guys: sometimes our light goes out, but is blown into flame by another human being. Each of us owes deepest thanks to those who have rekindled this light. I'm sure we've all met somebody who does that for us, and it's, you gotta be good to those people, so that they don't stop helping us reignite that flame. And so we've talked about clarity on our goals. We've talked about silencing the peanut gallery. And the third key is having faith. And this isn't necessarily in a religious sense, but it's about the fact that you have to believe that all that you want for your life is possible. If you have goals and you're setting out to achieve these goals, and you there are beliefs that you have that these goals are never going to happen, or you're just waiting for something bad to happen, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're sabotaging yourself. So if you are going into these goals thinking about all the things that could go wrong, you have to really shift your perspective. You have to think about all the things that could go right. And you have to believe that you're worth the success that you want for yourselves. And I think that comes with the strong self-esteem and self-confidence. And I think that this third bullet, it has been the biggest challenge for me, is just being able to surrender and realizing that things are not always going to happen when you want them to. They're going to happen when they're going to happen. And when we're pursuing our goals and they don't work out the way that we want them to, we can often fall into this trap of believing that it's a sign that the goal that you're working towards just isn't meant to be. And I think that I've learned that it's really a test to see how committed you are to making this goal a reality. So if it's not a goal that's important to you, if it's a goal that somebody else has told you they think you should work on, but it's not something that you fully invested in yourself, then when you hit those obstacles or challenges that are an inevitable part of any big goal that we're trying to achieve, then it's so much easier to quit because you weren't really invested in it in the first place. But when it's something that you want really bad, and I'm sure we've all been there where we wanted something so bad in our lives that no matter how much no's we heard or how many obstacles we hit, we just kept trucking. We just kept going for it. And I think that we have to remind ourselves of those moments when we hit those future challenges, is that we've been in this position before. We've hit these roadblocks before, but we found a way to push through them. And again, I go back to this road trip analogy, because if you're let's say you're headed to New York to go to like a show, right? And you really want to see this person live, and you're on the road, you're headed to New York, and there's a road closure. Are you gonna just make a U-turn and head back home? Probably not. You're just gonna look for an alternate way to get to your destination. And I think that that's the same mentality that we have to have when it comes to our goals, is that those no's that we hear or those challenges that we have, they're not signs that it wasn't meant to be. It's just a sign that the path that we chose to get us there isn't working, and we just have to find another way to get there. And Fabienne Fredrickson was actually the very first business coach I worked with. And she shared this affirmation, and I love it so much that I think I've probably used it in every presentation I've ever done. And it says, I am positively expecting great results no matter what I see in front of me. The universe is rearranging itself for my best interests right now. And I love that affirmation, because when you're in the midst of those challenges, when you're hitting those obstacles, it can feel like nothing good will ever come of it. But it's not about where you are right now. It's about where you're headed. And your past doesn't have to define your future. I think that's a quote from somebody, but I don't know who, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think that we have to remember that just because it didn't work out and we failed at something before, it doesn't mean that we can't have future success.
I am going to pause and give Sandra a water break.
Thank you.
For about 5 minutes. And while she takes her water break, I'm going to chat. This was actually a great segue because, Sandra did say, what if you were on a road trip and you wanted to see someone live and you had a roadblock? What would you do? So I'm interested to know how many people on the chat got tickets to see Michelle Obama in their city, because that would be an awesome person to see live.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone get tickets? Yes? No? Does everyone know how to use the chat function? I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. Oh, Nora said, I wish. See, Nora has figured out how to use the chat function. Ah, Charmaine.
Somebody did.
Good. Excellent. Sue, not you? Anna, you didn't buy tickets yet? I don't know if there are tickets left. Oh, in Montreal, Charmaine. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I heard that there were $200 tickets still left in Montreal.
And in Toronto, last I checked in Toronto, there were like 70 tickets.
Mm.
Well, breaking news, guys. Breaking news. CSBW got their hands on a few tickets. A
Woohoo!
few. I won't say how many just yet. And you heard it here first that we are going to have an exclusive dinner and talk before the show, and we're going to give away tickets. You'll see how you can win tickets probably starting next week, or no, I'm going to wait until after the Boxing Day craze. So maybe by the new year or by the very end of the year, you will find out how you can win tickets, and you can not only join us at the show, but you can join us at a pre-show, and we're going to have a special guest speaker, and it's going to be an intimate dinner with a few of our lovely friends. So if
Nice.
you're going to be available in Toronto for May 5th, just stay tuned, okay? I will definitely send out emails. I will definitely post it on social media. And May 4th, sorry, it's May 4th. I say May 5th. May 5th is my father's birthday. It's May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Okay, I'm going to stop now. I think that was enough. You can tell I don't know much about Star Trek, but I do watch Star Wars because my husband is obsessed with them. We have about, I don't know, maybe 20 Star Wars design books.
No.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Ooh.
But I digress. So, yes, stay tuned. I think it would be so much fun. I am so excited. And, with that,
Book
we
club.
actually, I was just about to say, I'm going to lean back a little bit. Hold on. I have to reach for it. All the way over here. So my office is clean and everything's organized. So we have a book club. And remember I said like my top two things are really like TV and talking.
Talking.
Well, I'm trying to read more, and I thought this would be really good for all of us to read together. I am having a virtual book club starting in January. And, Saturday, May 4th, 2019 is Star Wars Day. Yeah.
May the 4th.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. So yeah, we're going to do a virtual book club where we're going to go live every week, just once a week, and discuss topics in the book. So they did launch a book club Q&A package for this book.
Oh,
So I have all the
nice.
questions, and I am really excited and ready to go. So starting the beginning of January on our Facebook page, you will, you can join us on the chat. Oh, Barbara, perfect. So Barbara, let's join forces. Like, you do your live book club, and then you guys can join me virtually and let me know what you learned. So that would be cool. Nora, I think you said, how do you stay connected with us both after the talk? Well, you are registered for this webinar, so you will get an email with both Sandra's contact information and mine. And you can follow Sandra at Embrace Your Destiny on all social channels. And you can follow us on Embrace Your Destiny too, on Canadian Small Business Women on all social channels, and you will get all the good news there. So I think 5 minutes exactly. Look at that.
Nice commercial break.
That was your commercial break. So I'm going to share my screen again and hand it over to Sandra, and you guys just mull it over and put it as part of your goals to win tickets, to be a part of all this.
Yes. Affirmations to manifest it and everything.
I manifested getting those tickets. I prayed really hard on those tickets. And yes, it happens. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again and stop talking. Back to you, Sandra.
All right. So number 4. So we've talked about clarity and silencing the peanut gallery. What else did we talk about? Having faith. And so number 4 is about creating a workable plan. And so the thing is that your plan and your goals are not meant to overwhelm or frustrate you. I think that sometimes we have these massive goals that we want to achieve and we don't even know where to get started. So it's really important to create a plan that is doable for you. Again, this is about your goals and it's your plan, not something that somebody else is telling you that they think you ought to be doing, because they might have different experiences, different things that they're able to do. So it's really about creating a plan that works for you and setting those short, medium, and long-term goals, setting benchmarks that are manageable. And so again, if you wanna, whether it's losing weight or saving money, it's not going to happen overnight. Like if you have massive goals, whether you wanna, maybe you wanna make $10,000 in profits next year. That's not going to happen in 2 months unless you're selling something super awesome. I guess it's possible, but you really want to think about how you're going to do that. What are your weekly targets? What are your monthly targets? And then really checking in with yourself on a consistent basis to make that happen. And if you're like me, incentives are always a great way to help you hit those benchmarks. When I decided back in April, really, that I wanted to launch my podcast by the end of June, I wrote down that I would celebrate launching the podcast by treating myself to a day at the spa. So the only other time that I do that for the year is on my birthday, because I treat it as a national holiday. So I knew that, that was 3 months ago, and I knew I really could do with a spa day. So I decided, if I get this done, as well as some other things, doing some more Facebook Live videos and things like that, that if I hit those targets, that I was going to treat myself. And so I managed to launch at the end of June. So I think for the long weekend, I booked some time off at the spa because I worked hard and I deserved it. But it's all about what works for you. I've shared this story before where I know somebody who is part of a mastermind where they don't use incentives to help you reach your targets. They actually use penalties. So if you've committed to doing things in the mastermind and you didn't do them, when you meet up the next time, you have to pay the group $100 for not reaching your targets.
I like it.
I saw your reaction though, but this is the thing, right? So it's really about what works for you. For some people, incentives are great. For other people, paying that $100 to the group is like, well, no, I'm not doing that. So I'm going to work my butt off to make sure I hit those targets. So it all comes down to self-awareness. So whether penalty works for you or nice spa dates work for you, or something nice, whether that doesn't have to necessarily be the spa, but it's really about celebrating your successes. And again, they don't have to be reaching massive goals. You don't have to wait until the end of the year to celebrate and treat yourself. You can do mini celebrations when you hit those benchmarks, if that's what's going to be an incentive for you to really push hard and do things that probably going to ask you to step outside your comfort zone and do things that you haven't done before. And of course, I'm sure we've all heard this quote before: by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. And so that's why having a plan is so important. But again, it has to be a workable plan, something that inspires and motivates you, not something that's going to have you staring at it day in and day out and wondering how it's ever going to get done, because you'll be doing that till the end of the year and then be writing off another year as an unproductive, unsuccessful one. And we don't want that, right? We want to really be celebrating some really awesome things in 2019. And so I wanted to share this with you ladies, that I am going to be opening up my calendar in January to do 10 complimentary, no obligation clarity sessions. And in this 30-minute session, I will help you gain clarity on your goals so that you can really focus on the things you need to do to get them done. And what's really cool, and what I've done so that we don't spend too much of the call just getting to know each other and figuring out things, is that I have a questionnaire that I send you as soon as you book your session, so that I get to know a little bit more about you before we jump on the call, so that we can really make the most of that 30 minutes. And so I think Dwayne's going to share that link, but if not, it'll be in the email follow-up. I am
clicking the link right now. I hope that works. Click on that and make sure it works, everyone. It looks like it is the right link that I typed in. Yes.
Because it goes to my calendar?
No, it's not, because I definitely spelled session incorrectly. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try to do this again. EYD, clarity, session. try that link. That's spelled correctly. Okay. I can send it out in an email as well, so not to worry.
And then the final point, so we talked about clarity, we've talked about silencing the peanut gallery, having faith in yourself, and creating a workable plan. And the fifth one is about taking action, because if we have this great plan and we're not doing anything about the plan, then nothing's going to get done. And so I know that I've done this to myself before, where I've planned everything out, and then that fear of failure, fear of success, fear of I don't know what has stopped me from taking action. And so you have to go back and really ask yourself why this goal was important to you in the first place. You want to post it somewhere where you remember it every day. And I'll talk about this in a second, but one of the things that I did this year when I was talking about this daily reflection is I was writing out those major goals every day as part of that reflection process. So I was never losing sight of those goals. And that made a huge difference as well, because even on those days where very little got done, or things didn't work out the way that I wanted them to, I was reminded of what I was working towards, and it reminded me of why it was important and why I needed to continue to do the work, even if I'd had a crappy day. And so you want to take action, you want to track your progress, and going back to don't forget to reward yourself. And I think that it's about taking daily, consistent action. So, and even if it's not daily, it has to be consistent. So you don't want to go through a month where you haven't done anything tangible towards achieving your goals. You want to be doing something at least on a weekly basis that's going to help you get closer to that goal that you're working towards, because it's so easy to get distracted and to get pulled in another direction and maybe be working on somebody else's goal, helping somebody else achieve their goals, and not really spending the time you need to spend to really create the life and the goals that you want for yourself. So you want to check in with yourself on a regular basis and take consistent action, because that consistency is what's going to give you that significant progress that makes you feel good and makes you want to see what else is possible. And a Napoleon Hill quote for you: I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. And anybody here read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill? I feel like I need to go back and read that one again. I've read it, I think, twice or three times already, but it's always a good reminder. And
Sue has read it. I can't say I have, but Sue has read it.
And I probably almost 10 years ago now, I saw Bob Proctor live, and he actually, Noura is reading it now.
Ah.
And he gave everyone in attendance at this workshop the copy on persistence from Think and Grow Rich, and actually challenged us to find an accountability partner and read the chapter to each other for 30 days. And it was actually, I did it with the friend that I went to the workshop with. And by the end of it, we were practically not even looking at the book anymore. We were just saying it, because for 30 days, you're reading the same stuff. But I get why he did it, because persistence, I think, is probably the key to achieving your goals, right? And I'm sure we've all seen that image that gets spread a lot, where you got the guy who's digging to get some diamonds, and he's really close and he gives up, and the other guy keeps going and he gets some. But I think that that's the thing, is that it goes back to that whole having faith and being able to surrender, because I think sometimes we want what we want when we want it, and when it doesn't happen that way, we get frustrated, it's so easy for us to want to quit. But when we persist and we stay committed, then that's when things start to come together in a different way. And so this whole tracking your progress consistently, for me, that's been the the life changer as far as my goals have been concerned, because being able to really set my intentions the night before about what I wanted to do the next day, and then really and reflecting on how the day went, what worked, what didn't work, what I actually got done, it really helped me to hold myself accountable to what I said I want to do. And again, like I said, there were things where, you know, I said I want to get this done and I didn't get it done. And that reason for, or that line that asked me what's not working, I was writing down the same thing over and over again. One of them being, I need to manage my time better. I need to manage my time better. And so when you see that 5 days in a row, it's like, hang on a second. I need to really figure out what I'm doing here, because if I keep saying that I need to manage my time better, I need to do something about it instead of just acknowledging that it's a problem. I think that when you are checking in with yourself and being really honest with yourself about why things aren't working the way that you want them to, that's when you get to do something different. Because if we continue to do the things the way we've always done them, then we're going to continue to get the same results. So we have to really check in with ourselves on a consistent basis and really be honest with ourselves about what's working and what isn't working, so that we can make the changes necessary to make the progress that we want to make. And I think this is our last quote. There is no one right way to measure your progress. Any way you decide to do it will work. The important point is that you do some type of measurement. I think that's really the key, is that you want to be able to track your progress on a consistent basis, whether that's daily, weekly, or monthly. But if you're not tracking your progress, you'll end up, you know, hitting June and wondering where the time went and what got accomplished. And trust me, I've been there. And it's not a nice feeling to feel like half the year just flew by and you didn't get anything that you wanted to get done accomplished. So being able to track that progress on a consistent basis is a game changer for sure. And some additional tips: visualization. Anybody here use visualization right now to help them make their goals a reality?
I think I do. I usually do visualize exactly what I want to happen in a scenario.
Nice. Yeah, visualization is a great tool, and you want to be as vivid as possible. Use as much emotion and your senses as possible to create the goals that you're working towards. Again, you want to make a daily to-do list that includes tasks towards your goal, but you don't want to do a 20-item to-do list for the day, because you'll just look at that list and not know where to get started, unless they're all really small things that are completely doable. But when you create these to-do lists that are unrealistic, then you're just leading yourself up for overwhelm and frustration. And it's so much easier to just give up when you feel like you don't know where you're going to start or where you should get started. And Nora, I like to look at the 3 most important tasks that you want to get done for the day. And so focus on those 3, and then anything else that you get done for the day is gravy. But yeah, you want to at least have those 3 things that are your focus for the day that will get done, and then everything else is secondary. And the last thing is take care of yourself. Make sure you're taking time out for self-care, because if you're not at your best, then you're not going to be able to give your best to your goals, your family, your work, whatever it is that you're doing. So you really want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And then I guess we have some time for Q&A.
Yes, we do. I sent the link for that, so that's perfect. I am going to stop sharing so that if anyone has, if you have any questions, this is the perfect time to ask. Did anyone start planning for 2019 yet? I mean, I might be the only person who can put their hand up that by November 1st, all my event spaces for 2019 have been booked.
Nice.
That's it.
I saw some yeses though.
Amanda said yes.
Well, Amanda, I should hope so, because she did my goal planning workshop.
Okay. applied for a mentor through the group Ladies Who Work, and she sent a link for webinar. We do have a private group, and we're trying to promote mentorship in there, and I believe a few people signed up. Sue, I believe you signed up to be a mentor, if I remember correctly. You would be in trouble if you said no, Amanda.
Yes.
Yes, so.
Oh, did you freeze?
I hope I didn't. I can see you, Sandra. Oh, well, no, I just have, I don't know what happened, but hopefully I froze on a pretty face. Sandra looks frozen to me. I'm not sure if anyone can hear me or if I'm the one who's frozen. Nothing's happening on my end. Ah, I don't know if anyone can hear me. I am paused right now, but if you can hear me.
You can share the link with them as well.
Sorry, everyone. I don't know what
You're back.
I'm back. I don't know if you got my note. It did say I don't know what happened, but hopefully I froze on a pretty face. Sue, you wanted a link
Not
to
an
his
awkward
website.
one.
Sandra, do you mind typing in your website so that everyone can get it? I will also send an email out, a thank you email out to everyone either very late tonight or early tomorrow with the link to rewatch the webinar because I do have it recording. Yeah. I don't know what I missed. I didn't get the 5 right. What 5? What are you talking about? Oh, see above. And I will send the link for the 30-minute session as well. Oh, I think Sue listed 5. Oh, yes, here it says, should the order be, oh, I'm trying to find it again, Sue. Sorry, 1 second. Should it be visualize, intention, where is it? Vision, intention, do it, plan it, and action.
I'm trying to type the website. I'm on my iPad.
I can type it out. 1 second. Oh, yeah, you just did it.
Cynthia said that it shows that she's disconnected from the Q&A.
Q&A. That's odd. Wait, no, I see a Q&A. I see someone. No, question, you're here. I can see your question, Cynthia.
Oh.
Well, no, actually, I see you say that you're disconnected from the Q&A in the Q&A.
Yeah, that's what I see as well.
Does anyone have any additional questions? What I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to download this video and I will send a link to rewatch along with, Sandra did provide a workbook, was it, Sandra?
Yes.
So I'll be sending a workbook and it will have all of Sandra's information. And I will remember to send the link for the 30-minute call. And remember everyone to look out for how you can win some tickets to come and parlay with us and join us in our book club. I mean, this is exciting. And I think this is the last time I'm really going to speak live to anyone before the holiday season. So I hope everyone's ready for the holiday if you're celebrating. I hope you enjoy some well-deserved time off and just enjoy the season for what it is. I know I love Christmas. I really do. So I plan on relaxing. I'm really
I
not
love the
doing much
food.
shopping. Oh, yeah, the food is happening. Most definitely.
It's
And
all about the food. Yeah.
January, I'm going to have to not be all about the food. So
Yeah.
that's a goal right there. Let's see how it goes. January 3rd, yeah, January 3rd, great.
Yeah. The
Thank you
second to
all.
recuperate, and then the third to get officially on track for sure.
Yes. Diane, you said, yes, Diane, there'll be a recording available. So it will be, I will send it in an email to all the people who registered. And it's going to be on our YouTube page, Canadian Small Business Women. And Sandra, you can probably download it and put it on your page as well, because you can download
Awesome.
straight from YouTube.
Right.
You have that option these days, thank goodness. Or I can probably just send you the file. There's that too. So you can find it both on Sandra's page and on my page. And yeah, definitely feel free to reach out to Sandra for any questions, because she does do great vision board workshops. And she did show me a snippet of her goal planning. And I'm telling you, I'm pretty jealous because she's pretty detailed with it. So I'm sure she can help you do
Color
that.
coordinated and everything.
Yeah. And she always has like a lot of initiatives. So you can, if you're looking for accountability groups, mastermind groups, you host workshops. So yeah, Sandra can definitely be there for you. So I can
Absolutely.
say goodnight, and Sandra, you can say whatever you'd like to say to everyone.
Ladies, thank you so much for your time, because I know how precious everyone's time is, especially at this time of year. So thank you for tuning in. And if you're watching the replay, enjoy. And I can add you. Okay, Sue, I will do that. Thank you. And yeah, have a good evening. A Merry Christmas if you celebrate, and all the best for 2019.
Yes, we're going to rock 2019. It's going to be an awesome year, ladies, because we're going to set our goals. We're making it happen.
Absolutely. And then you all can share it in the Facebook group so that we can celebrate with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies, have a wonderful night. And Sandra, thank you so much.
No problem. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.